by J. Cole's and Hovers. Really, when you break it down, ask about me, I've been around. Weathered every storm in the rain, got that vintage sound. Scan the catalog, stick around for the epilogue. Audio fentanyl, you rappers step
Let's get into
along.
Watch the Work, man. Watch the Work is one of those records to where it's just reminding myself that everything doesn't happen when you want it, or it happens when you least expect it, right? And I'm just trying to talk a little shit, rap. It's an infectious beat, and you know, shout out to the producer, man, Asethic. But anyway, so let's get to the behind the scenes piece of this, man. You know, in and out of these pockets, loose change and sofas. I'm motivated by J. Cole's and Hovers. I think the difference between those two guys are very drastic and similar in terms of what we get from them as far as their personality through the music. Of course, I don't know them personally, never met them, but I like to think that I have those qualities, possess those qualities or some similarities in terms of just, you know, how people will say Hov is all about the money, Jay-Z rather, for you guys that don't know, he goes by Hov, you know, may have a younger demographic, but anyway. So, you know, he's about his money. My name is Kash Flow. Got that name a long time ago because I kept a job in high school. Never really was on the block like that. You know, had homies on the block, but that's how the name kind of originated. And that's where it was given. This, you know, little dude is always out here getting cash, and they couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Little did they know it was, you know, regular little 9 to 5 that I was doing not in high school, but, you know, after school type job, and kept it all 4 years in high school. So, you know, I've always been about getting a dollar and doing what I need to do to provide for myself at the time, and, you know, now my family and shit like that. So I would never ever, you know, say that, you know, this hip hop thing is born out of love, but I never would say that I'm not going to be involved in the making money of it, in the business of it. I will never kind of separate the two. You can't, you know what I mean? You need money to live. So I think that's that Hov side, right? Y'all know Hov for getting out here, billionaire status, kind of pretty much is the guy when we talk about probably the career you want to have. If you're talking about classic albums, classic music, and then you're talking about the business acumen and what we all, you know, hope to achieve in terms of just being able to live a comfortable life. Let's not just say billionaire status, but some of us aspire to be that, and, you know, I'm not opposed to it. So that's kind of that. And then Cole, you know, his career, how that's gone to where he came out doing one thing, flashy, you know, kind of doing things that he thought would get him noticed. And then on the flip side, once he started becoming themselves and the run of mixtapes and just kind of even who he is now, like Cole looked like he rolled out of bed and does videos, you know what I mean? But you gotta love it, man, in the way they approach it, you know what I mean? So I wanted to shout them out to show that, you know, I like a whole lot of different rap, but those guys and how they move, I won't say quiet, but like it's just less is more, and they say a lot. So that's kind of where that beginning line opens up. Motivated by J. Cole's and Hovers, you know, really when you break it down, ask about me, I've been around, I weathered every storm in the rain, got that vintage sound. That's just coming, that's talking about real life. Like, you know, I'd probably say it in my music. You know, if you look at the last track on this album, I talk about some of the things, the self-loathing, the not believing in yourself, the quitting. Last track on Late Arrival, my album, I talk a little bit about my life and things that I've been through, losing a daughter, all of these type of things, you know what I mean? That's where that shit is, that weathered every storm in the rain. So, you know, the people that I encounter and tough times will come, and they'll come in droves, man. You know what I mean? And you just gotta, you know, it's gonna get tough, it's gonna get hard, but you gotta weather those storms, you know what I mean? And get through it. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, is throwing that line is much more than just, you know, some clever shit. But then also shout out to Rain, homie, fellow rapper, you know, that I've had on the podcast as well. That was a flip on his album as well. So kind of that's what that's talking about, you know what I mean? So as we go a little further along in the album, or this verse here, I'm just talking a whole lot of shit because that's what I like to do. You know, people don't want to listen to boring ass albums where you're just talking about everything you've been through. Wow, that's a great attribute to have, and I aspire to talk about the things that I go through. I also want to give you just a record that's a dope ass record. It doesn't have to be a very carefully crafted, thought out idea. Sometimes it's dope to just give you a banger that gives you that stink face as soon as it comes on, and you hear the little the instrumentation in this beat, man. It instantly, to me, is one of my favorite records on the album. Watch the Work is really about just feeling like, man, you have to enjoy every single part of this music shit, because trust me, y'all, getting back into it, but it's rare in life that you find something that you enjoy the work. You enjoy the details of finding the right snare when, whether you're a producer, or finding the right melody or the right sample, or if you're a videographer, finding that right angle or that right LUT to put on, you know what I mean? All these different little things that kind of come into play when you're talking about putting this whole thing together. The interviews, even some artists don't like doing interviews. Like, you gotta really love this shit, because the music is what I'm finding is the easy part. But also what I'm finding is, as I do rock out and I do this music, people are watching the work. People are watching the progress. Just yesterday, shout out to Ruben. He's on Twitter. Y'all should follow him. It's called Check the Rhyme. Y'all was feeling lazy. I know I had to do the rest of these episodes, and I'm gonna keep being 2 to 3. I'm gonna try per week. But it's funny when you're feeling down or a little bit lazy or just not inspired to do the work, but other people are watching the work. You know what I mean? It may be just that one person. You know what I mean? Just remember, you just got to get 1 or 2, 3, even 10 people. Just start there. If you get 10 people, they're watching, and other people in my life have watched, friends, family, as I kind of pursue doing music and everything else that I'm into, podcasting, DJing and shit like that. And they're just watching me get through the shit. Like, I don't give a fuck if I sound terrible when I do a DJ gig, or if I put out an album or EP that everybody doesn't like. But at the end of the day, a person can really just watch the work. They may not like everything I put out, and I get that, but they're watching the work, and that work ethic may inspire them to go out there and get it and do whatever they choose to do. And I know that's what hip hop has done for me. Rap in particular, when I'm listening to the music, it's motivated me in my 9 to 5, and I do nothing in my 9 to 5 related to rap, even close to it. You know what I mean? But it motivates me to go out there and go get it. Second verse, again, dedicated to all my travels and stuff like that, that I've done. I've really been to those places before and had a blast, and a lot more places that I'll probably just throw out there randomly. You know what I mean? I spent over 11 years living overseas in my life. And, so a lot of those lines in that second verse is really true. Every place I really shout out in my raps, I've been there. It's not imagination, not a thing that I made up. And I think that's dope, because sometimes I feel like you got to live a little bit. That's part of it. Live life as well. For you hard workers out there and fellow musicians, go live life so that you can come back and get in the booth and have something to talk about. With that said, I'm Kash Flow. This is Watch the Work. I'll be back, very, very, very shortly. I ain't gonna take too long of a break the next time to put out episode 6. So y'all holla at me. Peace.